A very good morning. So in the previous session, we have seen about the module one topic, that is in the management and entrepreneurship for IT industry. We have seen what is the management, nature, scope, and the characteristics of it. So today we are moving on to the next topics in the module one. So this is Ashika as assistant professor from the computer science department, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bengaluru. So let us start the session. So first topic we have going to see is levels of management. So we have seen the art of doing the things through people are set as management, right? So we need a levels of management when we do the things in the management area. So it includes the first line management or top management, middle level management, and the lower management. So in the top management, who are all the people will include in this first line? These are the people who will make the policies for their specific organization, for their specific companies, or for their specific government. So set of goals, how they are going to give, who is going to set the goals, who is going to give the policies, make the policies, and make the target. The person will be in the top management. So it includes the, it consists like chairman, president, vice president, CEO, etc. And the middle management includes like finance manager, sales manager, marketing management, head of the departments, etc. So in the lower management explains about the supervisors and the foreman. So middle management, it includes the people like financiers and how the sales is going on, how the marketing is going on for marketing management, and head of all those departments. Like, right, the lower management includes the supervisors and the foremen. So this is about the levels of the management. So according to the management functions or the process of management, some of the writers have been set their own definitions. So according to Henry Foyle, the management functions is nothing but planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. So when we look over all the writers definition according to the manager function, we can see planning, organizing is the main thing involved in all the functions, right? So because management is required the planning and organizing, and then according to Henry Foy, he says that after the organization, he needs the commanding, coordinating, and controlling. But according to the Luther Gulick, he needs the staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting like POSD, CO, or B. Then Lindy Urvik says that management functions includes planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, communicating, forecasting, and investigating. And EFL Brick says that planning, organizing, motivating, coordinating, and the controlling. So the last writer like Cons and O'Donnell says that planning, organizing, and staffing, directing, leading control is needed for management functions. So this is about the management functions definitions according to the specific writers, right? So when we move on for the next, that is management, process of management, here we can see that the process of management includes planning, organizing, directing, controlling, innovation, and representation, right? So innovation, representation, what it says, we will see one by one what are the process of management here. So first thing is a planning. Planning says that it is a process of determining the objectives for long or short term goal, and it also determines in advance what should be done in the future. It is a blueprint which is looking ahead and presenting the plan, right? It is a function that determines the in advance what should be done, which is looking ahead and preparing for the future. It is a function which is performed by the managers and at the top level, middles, and the supervisory level. So it decides in advance what should we do, how to do, and when to do, where to do, and who has to be done. So planning is basically, it is a blueprint before the task has been upheld, or before the task is going to be in progress. We need to plan according to the work, how it is going to assign, how it is going to process. So it is a function that determines in advance what should be done in a for the future, what should we do now itself. So it is performed by the different levels of managementary levels, and it decides in advance what should be done, what is the plan, how we are going to enhance that plan, or what how we are going to execute that plan, when, where, when we are going to do, at what time, where, what is the place, where is the place where we are going to execute it, and who has to do. The particular person who is able to take that, who is having the capability, he should be having that responsibility to withhold the to execute the plan. And planning bridges a gap between the where we are now and where should we be in the future. It always says about the gap between the present and the future, uh, and it acts as a bridge between the present and future level. It is about the planning. So next, the manager functions in organizing. So once the plan has been developed, how the objectives we are going to establish it. The plan is already done for the for the what specific task. So specific goal should be reached with the plan is there. So what are the objectives we are going to include in that plan? How we are going to involve the human organization to carry out the successful to carry out that work successfully. So it includes the activities like, it should be achieve the goals, the determined activities required to achieve the goals. The group should do these activities into department. It should be grouped according to the department, and assign the manager for each department. The manager should be assigned for the each department. Then defining and delegating the responsibility and authority for that department, and making the provision for coordination of the activities. So organization includes the organizing includes the human organization to carry out the plan successfully, and it also determines the activities, and it group these activities into the department and assign the manager for each of the department, and defining the responsibility for that person, and making the coordination between a within a group for different activities. This is about the organizing. So next is staffing. Staffing is nothing but involving the right person, choosing a right person for each job. So it is an important function in building up the human organization. Once the human organization is involved in the specific work, the perfect person should be stick into that. The role of the person should be given to the responsible person who is able to take up, who is having the knowledge of it, and fixes the responsibility of the manager to find the right person for the right job. And it also says that it involves a selection and training for future management also, and it's also suitable for the system of compensation. And it also involves the different kinds of organization. Different objectives requires a different kind of organization. So this is about the staffing. When we move on for the directing, the managerial functions. So planning, organizing, staffing. The fourth is directing. Directing is nothing but leading, giving and what giving and workers to assigning the job, and also directing them how the work is to be done. So it involves the three sub functions like communication, leadership, motivation. These are the three important things should be in the directing part. So communication says about the process of passing the information from one person to another, and leadership is nothing but is the process of guiding and influencing the work of his subordinates, and it also inspires the workers to give their best to the enterprise. So communication is the process of passing the information from one person to another, and it is a guiding leadership mentality should be there for the working for the subordinates, and it is a process of motivating, inspiring the workers to give their best for the enterprise. And financial motivations there take about the salary, bonus, profit sharing, etc. And the non-financial motivation says that it takes the form of job security, opportunity of advancement and recognition, prize, etc. So this is the it involves the directing involves the communication, leadership, motivation. The main basic 3 points should be needed in the managerial functions. So what is the controlling? Controlling says about it is the measurable and correcting activities of the subordinates. It is measuring and correcting the things, activities of the subordinates, and ensures that the work is going to be done as per the plan. So it involves like establishing the standard for the performance and comparing that standards is going to be suitable for the established standards or not. The current performance able to compare with it or not. If it is lagging back, it should take the action to correct any performance that doesn't meet the standards. So controlling says that it will establish the standards, it will set up the standards and see whether the plan is going to whether the task or the goal is going to be which is going to be reached, whether it is going to match up the performance or not. And if it is not, if it is lagging back to reach that performance, it takes the action to correct any performance that doesn't meet the standards. And innovation says that innovation is nothing but creating the new ideas, insisting the new things in the organization and result in the development of new products or finding out the new uses of for the old ones. And innovation not a separate function but it only a part of planning, right? It is a part of planning. It is not a separate function. It involves it is within a planning sector only. So creating the new things and exhibiting in a specific task by giving up by finding out the new uses for the old one which is already existed. It is all about the innovation, one of the managerial functions in the management. So final is the representation. So once the planning is done, organizing is done by the human resource, then staffing is done for this. Once the particular person is situated in the specific task, then directing is done, then leading is done. Directing is nothing but leading, and then innovation is done, communication is done. So what is how we are going to represent it? Final stage is the representation task. So once it is all done, the representation also plays a major role in the execution of the plan. So manager is required representing his organization before various outside groups which have some stake in the organization. So they should see the stakeholder that can be governmental officials, labor, unions, and the financial institute, suppliers, and the customers.